I know I'm kind of dumping a lot of information on you at once, but I'm trying to get as much of it out of the way as possible. Yes, that is a very big hole. It's more of a crater, really. What I want to know is, how did the merchant fall in the hole? I mean, seriously, that is a very big hole. You just can't not notice this hole. Nina's over there trying to raid the dude's stuff, and then his pet attack, invisible stalker guy, is over there like, oh, no, don't touch. Wonder what it is. Could it be a dragon? Actually, yes, spoiler alert, that is a dragon. Not that you probably didn't guess that. You probably have already guessed even who that is. But at the same time, that right there, that's not so bad when it comes... I'm not so against the way that particular dragon looks. It looks vaguely like... You could say, okay, I could see that being a dragon. But, you know, like the sand dragon, no, that's not a dragon. That was... I have no clue what that was. Whoa, he's naked. I do love the little portraits they have in this game. I think they're really amusing. Right, he's like, what's the big deal? Oh. Okay. Yes, because the merchant hires nudes. Jeez, questions! Slow down! I do like in Breath of Fire 4, the manga, Nina's like, at one point, they're like, well, maybe Ryu's a dragon. I mean, his name means dragon and everything. I'm like... It's just the sheer obviousness of that statement was so hilarious, because she's not wrong. But at the same time, it's such a stupid reason to say somebody could be a dragon. I'm not lost. I'm not lost. Just don't know where I'm going. Okay. Ah, so that's why we were given the sword. One of the interesting things I find about all four games is each one of the Ninas has a vastly different personality. You know, I mean, you sit there and you compare them all. Nina from the first game, she was very, very... I guess she's very independent, you could say. She was willing to go and out and do things herself. You know, she wasn't reliant on her status as a royal. And by the way, we actually cannot go back up to the sand flyer crash there, because apparently the hole is too big to walk around. But in Breath of Fire 2, you know, you have the Nina who was cast out from her family and has relied on herself all this time. vaguely she kind of hates herself because of her black wings. Breath of Fire 3, you have the Nina who likes to, I guess the word is meddle. And Breath of Fire 4, you have a Nina who is she's very kind and trusting, but she knows next to nothing about the world. So, anyway, let's talk a bit about the characters themselves. Now, this game takes a kind of a step back when it comes to, and I don't mean that in a negative term, I mean just mechanically a step back compared to Breath of Fire 2 and 3. In Breath of Fire 2 and 3, Nina was a magical powerhouse. I mean, her purpose was to go on scene and cast as many attack spells as she could to make the peoples fall down. Now, in Breath of Fire 1, she was a healer. She had a moderately to minimal useful melee attack. I mean, she could do some damage, but for the most part, that's not why you brought her on the field. You brought her on field to buff up and heal your party. Now, in this game, Nina is the premier healer. She's not the only one who gets healing spells, but thankfully, the best healer is no longer the main character. She does get some attack magic, all of it wind elemental. That's typically how they do the attack magic distribution in this game. Every character will get one element that they're really good at, and that's, for the most part, all of the attack spells they'll get. You know, Nina is really good at wind elemental, so all of her attack spells will be wind elemental. There is one character who kind of breaks this mold. She gets a couple of different elements, but for the most part, that's how it goes. Once again, this is a mechanic to help you make combos, which I will get into as soon as I can get a spell to make said combos. Anyway, so welcome to our first dungeon. The cliffs. Oh, and one step and we're into a random battle. You may notice right away that there's actually a random battle transition. Yes. Well, yeah. They don't do random battles in this game like they did in the previous one. It'd be really hard to do it, I think, with the way they design the areas, because the areas in this game tend to be a little more claustrophobic than the previous game, so there's not enough room to do the random battles, which I think is one of the reasons why they went with, this. But anyway, if you hit square, you can analyze an enemy, and they'll give you a hint. If you've killed the enemy before, they'll tell you how much experience and zenny they give you, along with any treasure they drop. So yes. Skills that an enemy will use that they're telling you about in the enemy's description will be in blue. This one they talk about Igoos, like other glues, are lazy and often like to rest. Well, to learn rest, you just basically leave the goo alive long enough. He'll eventually use it. In combat in this game, there is no examine command. You learn skills with the guard command, which is good because that allows you to, take reduced damage while you're trying to learn skills, where you get those skills that take freaking ever to learn. This one doesn't take too long. It's pretty easy to learn, but at the same time, you just got to keep going until he finally uses it. Alright, so let's go on. And there's nothing up here. I might have to look into why my capture software is doing that because it's having it's. If you see, I guess what amounts to jump skips, skip cuts. That's what I'm looking for. I'm turning my recording software on and off because my frame rates keep dropping, but stopping and starting the recordings fixes it. So anyway, I'll do that when I'm not recording. Figure out what that is. You could tell right away that the environments in this game are way more claustrophobic. There is one enemy around here you really want to keep an eye out for, the Mage Goo. If you find one, great. You want to learn Burn from them, and you want to have Ryu learn Burn, not Nina, because, well, when I learn it, I'll show you. Basically, it'll allow us to do a combo that will take us through a good portion of the game by itself. But if you don't learn Burn here in the cliffs, don't worry about it. You'll learn it later. Basically, you got two directions. You got two choices to jump. You can just run and jump, or walk up to it and press X. No. I'm not really good with heights. By the way, do not worry. Her falling like this does not become a running thing. This is pretty much the last time she does this. But I love how Ryu just immediately jumps down to save her, and that was a terrible time for the frame rate to drop. And then she's got wings and she's floating down. But luckily he didn't fall too far. And luckily he's also made of dragoninium. Also very stupid. But, you know, hey. Sure. Let's see, where can we go? This cave looks comfy, I guess. For a cave. There is a fly buzzing around my head. It is bothering me. Oh, well, she got him to admit he's lost. Huh. New to Breath of Fire 4, we have the dual protagonist system. Which means there are actually two main characters. I would like you to meet the second main character. The blue dog. No, not the blue dog. Fulu. The God Emperor of the Fu Empire.